Hello friends, my name is Raidho and today I'm going to talk about the rune Rado. The rune means to ride or associated with wagon. Roughly translated, it's associated with the journey. This rune is connected with the journey of life, movement, what drives you to take action, initiative, being in control and making your own decisions to achieve your goal while you are in a certain path towards an objective. This is a rune associated with the human need to find the right path and sometimes the inability to understand what's right and what's wrong gives us fear, the fear to take responsibilities, and that same fear leads us to a state of lifelessness, passivity, and Raidho helps to give the first step to start our journey. So this rune will help to establish a creative rhythm in your activities. Raidho is also associated with the symbol of the wheel, representing a circular movement, because in nature everything has a certain rhythm, a cycle, ever in circles but always in movement towards the future, going forward. The idea of reaching a goal is not the end but a transformation and a new beginning for another journey, to reach a new objective in order to evolve. Now let's talk about the mythology concerning this rune to better understand its essence. This rune is associated with the horse as a vehicle of transportation, so the most obvious mythological association is with Odin's famous 8-legged horse, Sleipnir, which can carry Odin to all the 9 cosmic worlds of creation. However, this rune is also connected to the god Ing, the sort of Teutonic version of the Norse fertility god Freyr. Ing was a deity of great importance to the early Anglo-Saxons and was a god associated with horses. So it's no coincidence when the Anglo-Saxons first came to the shores of Britain during the 5th and the 6th century. They bore the banner of the white stallion, which remains the emblem of the county of Kent to this day in southern England. And, well, the name England itself owes its very name to this god. Anyway, the horse has always been a powerful animal. In many cultures in ancient Europe, it was the prime means of land transportation, for instance, and the vehicle by which people could travel great distances. As such, the animal became one of the most highly valuable domestic animals. We have a variety of myths in Norse mythology concerning horses. A horse which pulls the sun, a horse which pulls the moon, Skinfaxi and Rimfaxi, for instance. And of course, in archaeological evidences of burial context, we find that horses were the chosen animals to sacrifice when rituals were of great importance, or the people to whom the funerary rituals had been performed were also of great importance. There is a rune which is much more associated with the horse as an animal, that is Henuas, and the rune literally means horse. But Raidho is associated with the act of riding a horse. There are profound shamanistic associations linked to the concept of riding. Riding on horseback is the symbology of a spiritual journey into the world of the spirits, the domain of the gods and the ancestors. And since this is a rune associated with rhythm, well, the rhythm of the drum plays an important role in the shamanic ritual. The drum itself in shamanic terms is referred to as the shaman's horse, the vehicle the shaman uses for the awareness of other realities. In Norse mythology, one of the best references to a shamanic tradition is when Odin journeys down the world tree Yggdrasil in his quest for the runes. Yggdrasil literally means Odin's horse. But you can watch my video about that subject. I'll leave a link down below in the description. Anyway, this account is widely recognized as a shamanic journey to the other world. Now let's talk about the meaning of this rune, and let's start with its upright position. When this rune is drawn in a rune reading in its upright position, this rune is associated with journeys of all kinds, and I keep on repeating this precisely so you can interiorize this concept. So, journeys both of the other world and your personal journeys. It's important to understand that the runes don't tell you what to do, they give you advice. So when Rado appears in a rune reading, it advises you to use judgment in your next course of action and acting honorably. Ask yourself which is the right course, the right path to take. Don't act impulsively, take your time to ponder your decisions before you start your next journey. Wait. And while you wait, work on the restrictions which are preventing you from moving on. Solve what's left behind and what you have been avoiding so you can move forward without looking back. Since this is a rune connected with the act of riding, it gives us the association of journeying and adventure, and life is full of surprises and possibilities, so indeed it is a great adventure. But the road we travel along may not always be easy, but remember that eventually at the end of every adventure, all the trials and tribulations encountered along the way will be worth it when you achieve something, when you receive your rewards. As always, the journey is in the direction of self-healing, self-change, to evolve and attain the perfect union and balance. But such things cannot be forced, so control any excesses in your life. As I've told you, all runes give you advice, but when Raidho appears, the advice is precisely not to take the advice of others. It is your own judgment that will outweigh any other point of view. Keep your own counsel, and once your mind is made up, do not waver from your course. Now the meaning of this rune in its inverted position. Raidho suggests that you may be having troubles along this new journey of yours. There is a strong feeling that you are going nowhere. Don't get stuck in fear and other negative responses to your current situation. It's like riding a horse, adapt to the horse's rhythm. If you hold the reins too tightly and force too much control, you will break the rhythm, you will break the balance. We all want to be in control of our own lives, but the truth is that we can't control that much due to a variety of factors. Sometimes it doesn't depend on the power we have, each power has its limitations. When this rune appears inverted, disruption of your plans are inevitable, but that doesn't mean you can abandon the path. The road seems dangerous, a lot of hazards, difficulties, but don't be disheartened. Keep the faith, because this troublesome period will not last forever. The requirements that are necessary for your evolutionary process may be totally out of alignment with your intentions. Inconveniences, maladjustments, blockages, and even failure may be opportunities to correct the coordinates of your path. Alright friends, thank you so much for watching, and I forgot to tell you that during this month of September I will be out in archaeological excavations, so if I don't get back to you as soon as it's normal, if I don't answer your questions as usual, you will know why. I will be a little bit busy. So once again, thank you so much for watching. See you on the next video, and of course, tack för idag!